welcome to the Old Man Orange podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan, and we're not doing exactly a retrospect today.
No, we're going back and we're doing a commentary because we haven't done one in, it seems like, quite a while. But we decided to pick this movie that we've had on our minds for quite a long time, and it's the Sonic the Hedgehog anime, sometimes referred to as OVA, movie of pretty much late 90s. I mean, it came out in 96, but I feel like the real US release came out in 99, because the other one was kind of fucking hidden.
Now, I want to get this out of the way, because we're always about, like, promoting things we like and, like, talking good about it. Like, we don't like being that podcast. Like, it is so bad, we're just going to kick it in the balls for the next few hours. This thing's not perfect. It is kind of clunky, but there is some interesting things. It's very interesting. No matter which way you twist it, it is kind of interesting how this thing came around. Like, the process, how it got made, I don't know, but just the end result itself.
Yeah, well, it's one of those ones, it's like the mini kind of, like, anime sometimes of, like, the 80s and 90s, where it's that sort of thing where it's probably better in the Japanese dubbing than it is in the American one. It's like, I will say, the American dubbing's one of those ones, it's like...
It's rough.
It's a little rough, you know what I mean? Those kind of ones, it's like a voice actor you kind of look at, you go, Jesus Christ, why didn't they just call me? I mean, I know I was like fucking 8 years old at the time, but they should have given me a fucking call. I would have done Tails. Yeah. Fucking that little kid from Jumanji can do Tails, I can fucking do Tails.
Only had a time machine.
So yeah, so it's like one of those ones, but whatever. We're gonna get this movie started. We got it paused on the part that just says Sega, like the logo, like if it was a Genesis game.
And you could actually, to make it easy for you folks, if you have it, awesome. But we're actually watching it right off of YouTube here.
Yeah, we felt lazy. We didn't want to bring the VCR over and set that thing up on the other TV, so we just decided to pull it up on the PlayStation and watch it on YouTube. So there's a handful of them on there. You know, obviously they're probably about all the same, give or take, on whether it's Japanese or English and whatnot. But other than that, though, let's get to it. Let's watch this bad boy. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. I'll hit play. So 1, 2, play. I almost hit fucking circle because of PS4.
Yeah.
Fucking PlayStation. Sorry. It's something that's like drives me up the wall between PS3 and PS4 and between watching a DVD and watching something on YouTube. It's like the buttons are not the same.
Well, it's like watching it like on Netflix or watching it on Blu-ray. It just kind of will throw you off like that.
Yeah, the buttons are not the same, and it's confusing.
But regarding this, so I remember when we mentioned this a few episodes back, when you first got Sonic Jam, they had like a little ad for the movie on there. It was in Japanese, and it didn't really tell you what it was. It was a movie, like a little anime, but you didn't really know like when's this thing coming out to America or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember just seeing like, oh my god, and just being amazed. And then there's this period where I kind of fell out of Sonic. Not that I disliked Sonic, just for a while, because I didn't have a Saturn, and they weren't making any Sonic games for a while, and I didn't have a Dreamcast for a while. I didn't get Dreamcast till near the end of its run. And then out of nowhere, I remember I was literally on vacation in Hawaii with my family. And we went to a video store to rent something, and it was like me and my brother and my cousins, and that they were all like, I said, there's a Sonic movie there. I'm like, oh, that's the movie! That's the movie! And they all said, like, oh, no, like, because we could each get a movie. They talked me into getting Night at the Roxbury, even though it was my choice. I was like, okay.
Even though Night at Roxbury is a good movie, it's probably my favorite Will Ferrell movie. It is. But...
I was really butthurt about it. Like, I'm never going to see that movie again, aren't I? I get home, it's a blockbuster. Oh, okay, and I bought the thing.
Well, I mean, that is like a logical one, though, because movies, like, back in the day, this is something I think people forget. When you saw, like, an anime movie, it's not like you were going to find it at Blockbuster again. I mean, you happened that you did find it at Blockbuster, but that was that time period where it's like, that might have been the only time you saw it in life. You might have never saw it again until the fucking internet came out.
And this came out, like, because I remember, let's just acknowledge this real quick. It's weird choice. They make everything take place up in the sky. Like, they're just floating islands. Like, not
probably
just
some creative director's like, you know what I really liked about Sonic? I liked when the sky was, or like when the land was floating. That is awesome. Picture that for like mostly everything.
Yeah, and it's just like maybe that's like ideas like that's levels. Like I feel like this is a setup for a show.
I like how Sonic's got like this fucking like bunch of like spaceships. It's almost got there's like literally like the Enterprise was sitting up there.
Yeah.
Even though it's smaller than the jet, so I don't know what that means.
Well, it was a train. It was a train. It was a plane, and the Enterprise.
And the Enterprise smaller than everything else. Like Sonic, she's kicked back. Like, yeah, I got my own beach, bro. What's going on?
I feel like he'd be listening to like probably
Kick Out the Jam.
Kick Out maybe
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Party on Your Pussy. I wish they're just like, I want to party on your pussy, baby.
Like when you say that, like fucking Tails is like humping that surfboard. I like how Tails like, yo, Sonic, bro, come out to the ocean, man. He's like, dude, we fucking die when we go in the water.
like, well, Tails, like, he's like...
Well, I guess Tails doesn't, because Tails like, well, I can swim up. Like, fuck
Badly.
you, Tails.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tails.
But no, eventually, so I bought the
My
thing.
parents taught me how to swim. Fuck you, Tails.
Yeah, and they're fucking dead now, right?
They died in that circus accident. That wasn't my parents. Oh, whatever. Different
you
origins.
orphans are the fucking same to me. They didn't want you. I left my parents. I'm too fast for them. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Told
I
me to
was
clean my
5 years old. I said, fuck you guys. I'm going to pack of cigarettes. I'm out of here.
Told me to clean my room. Said, fuck you, make me! Ran off. Been living on the road ever since.
I was blaring that Def Leppard song where it's like, yeah, I ain't going to do what you want me to do. I'm not going to fucking walk the dog, clean the yard.
Then went on to like playing White Snake, like, here I go again on my own.
I was playing Def Leppard. It's like, let's get the rock out of here.
But, alright, Sonic's always scratching his nose in this. Is it like a reference to like Bruce Lee when he does that little nose flick thing, or does he have a cocaine habit?
I'm going to say, realistically, I think it is a reference to Bruce Lee. But since it's Sonic and he's fast, it's almost like a joke in
works either
itself.
way.
But yeah, it works either way. But I want to say realistically, it's probably more Bruce Lee.
Well, because they even in Sonic Adventure 2, I want to say there's a part where like a cutscene where he's about to go up. Like, why is Tails supposed to cry right here? Like over that, really?
over this crazy kook.
It's like, how the fuck did I get up
I'm a bird and I gotta fly in a jet that's on fire.
Yeah, like,
It's like, you crazy motherfucker. He's like, oh, it's on. Whoa, I didn't realize that.
shut that shit out. No, there's even a cutscene in Sonic Adventure 2 where he gets in a position, like I think it was to fight Robotnik or something, and he flicks his nose and even does like the Bruce Lee hand motion, like out, like that's probably kind of cool right there. But they just use the same exact clip from before of Sonic relaxing.
Yeah, as this guy like comes fucking barreling in, crashing down, on fire.
This is one where they're trying to get across, like, because Force, I kind of like the idea of Sonic. He's just like, he just wants to hang out, and he can run fast, but he's more about just chilling. But as it turns out, though, it's just like when the second you get in his way, he's like, oh, motherfucker, okay, yeah, I'll run fast. I'll get it out of the way. But it's because as time went on, they made it a little bit more of like a, hey, man, I just got to be me. I just got to run and just keep on running, you know. And I get how that can be tiring after a while.
Well, yeah, but now it's like, you gotta have that kind of Sonic attitude. The weird thing about this one is just almost the dub that they use. It's like, I don't know who the fuck's dubbing it, because it's like Sonic and Tails and Knuckles all have this like partial Southern accent, but it's also like mixed in with like this weird British accent, and sometimes goes Jersey. I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know if it's just some like Canadians that weren't too sure what they were doing or what.
Well, this was dubbed by ADV, and I know that like I think she had the flowers from Green Hill Zone right there. I never noticed that before.
Oh yeah, they do have that.
They're not rotating or anything. Like, I'll say this has a good art. What the fuck is Robot? He just moves it out of the way nicely. What's one of Robotnik's like machines doing on his fucking island? He just stomped that thing. Like, what the fuck's this doing here? Get it
He
out.
just smashes it violently too. I don't know.
Like, Tails like, that's my friend. Kill it, Tails. Kill it.
Don't let it live.
You want to live on my island? You gotta fucking kill it.
Fucking owl guy.
That's another thing, because I guess I think it was made in 96, I believe.
Yeah, it's 96 in Japan for sure when it came out. And then I think that the original version came out in 96 in the US, but
It was
the VHS
subtitled.
one that we're kind of used to is like 99.
So there's two versions. There is like, well,
I guess they're both on VHS. Duh, it's that time.
Well, it's like there's two releases of it. There's one release where it's like, because this is technically an OVA, a miniseries, so it's like two separate VHSs in Japanese with subtitles. And then in 99, they re-released it again in the dub, and they just put them together. Which, I get that, I mean, I think that's kind of like, I think back then it was just like, 'cause I was surprised to find out this was out since 96 in America, but it was probably just in some weird little anime market you couldn't really get to too frequently if you were a kid, so.
Well, it's like the weird thing, like how Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was out kind of earlier than you think. But, most people think that, when it came out in Cartoon Network in like 97, that's when it was originally out. But it's like, oh no, they were fucking dubbing them way before that. They had the Canadian company.
Tails in his little pilot outfit, or his little pilot head helmet.
His pilot outfit. I think Tails is always like, he's always flying the same, but he's also always crashing it too. Like, what's up with that?
He's just not that good. Well, that's what happens. You put like a fucking like 10-year-old in the pilot seat of a fucking plane. It's crazy he hasn't died. Now I'll say I like a lot of the design stuff with this. Like I think this what the rare symbol right there on the left.
It almost looks just like that.
I kind of like the world it takes place.
619.
I like the world this takes place in right here, and even kind of look of it. It's just how some of it doesn't make sense how it works. Like, okay, you're the president of whatever, like floaty land.
Freedom Planet.
Yeah, planet freedom.
America.
You're but Robotnik can easily get in. You don't have any soldiers. Do you rely on Sonic for everything? And like apparently, because you have Sonic and Tails and Knuckles when they're animals, but everyone else they're like mostly human. Like I mean, look at Sarah there. She looks like maybe she's a cat girl or something.
But she could also be dressed up like that. She could be kind of weird like that. Like I want to be just like the animals, Daddy.
And the president, look, I don't know what the fuck he is. If he's human, if he just has pointy ears, or what the fuck's going on.
You know, it's like I kind of like the old story of Sonic the Hedgehog, like as far as like the first couple of games, where it's almost like more like Dr. Robotnik's just this evil Republican that travels through space and finds this planet just full of animals that fucking talk, and then he starts fucking making towns and cities out of it and whatnot, almost like preparing it to bring humans there.
I think that's the thing that the Sonic franchise has never really been clear on. Sometimes it's on Earth, sometimes it's on Mobius, sometimes like, oh, we don't fucking talk about it, don't think about it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they're not very, like, I like it more when it's on Mobius. Like, I don't really like when it's on Earth. That's always kind of a turn-off to me in Sonic stories.
Like in Sonic Adventure 2, you see they're in Italy, you see, like, the Eiffel Tower and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it doesn't ruin, like, the gameplay-wise, but I just feel story setting. It's like, just put it on Mobius. Like, everything's on fucking Earth. Come on, we got Mobius, you know what I mean? You get this kind of cool backstory where it's like he's talking about like the dark zone that fucking like this is where like Robotnik was going down. He's like, I was making a utopia.
I had a bunch of robot freezes.
He's like I was making slaves left and right. We were having a good old time, and then this fucking dark Dr. Robotnik, or what is it,
Metal Robotnik.
Yeah, Metal Robotnik comes in. Fucking ruins it, makes a slave uprising.
Now, I'm not sure. Did he actually lead did he say let uprising? Like, but the Metal Robotnik came in, like my metal counterpart. Like, well, who the fuck else made this thing other than you did?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. It's this far in the future. Robots are probably making robots. They're like, fuck that Robotnik, man. We're gonna get out of here, okay? We're gonna make a Metal Robotnik. He's gonna fight the real Robotnik.
Now, this part right here, because they have the whole zoom out, like, everyone's falling asleep while he's telling this story, like, exposition.
They're just like, fuck you, old man. Like, even the old man's falling asleep. So, yeah, everybody, I don't give a fuck about your story.
And it doesn't say BAM, it says ban.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, what the fuck? I don't know if that's because
There's a mistranslation, maybe?
Mistranslation and or, like, if there was a widescreen version of this movie, which I don't know if that probably not is, because it was made for TV, like, weird, like, mini-series movie.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's some cool... There is some interest... I think that, first off, the weird kind of off-putting vibe I get from the movie, it's probably mostly just from seeing the dub the whole time. And I feel like... But even without that, though, there is just some weird story things. Like, okay, you don't have some soldiers that can help you with this shit? Or is your country that fucking hopeless? You rely on, like, the only, like, woodland animals that can talk to save the day all the time?
Well, it's probably one of those weird ones where it's like, okay, Dr. Robotnik was there. He's like, yeah, I got the military fortress. It's like, oh, perfect. Well, when we start up our utopia here, this will be great. You'll run the military stuff, and I'll just run the country. And then it's like, now that Robotnik's just like, fuck you, I got control of all the robots.
They should say that.
Yeah, they need to say, I'm thinking out. You know?
Yeah.
Like all the robots like copying Robotnik's way they both stand their arms crossed.
Yeah, there's the little one. Like he's like, thank you, Robotnik, for giving me a death watch.
It's like, fuck you, Tails. Don't say thanks to him. He's a slave master.
You Uncle Tom motherfucker.
Yeah.
That thing might as well be a fucking collar. Why,
Yeah.
so he can track you, know where you're going, know what you're doing?
Yeah, what?
Don't think that, fat fuck.
Yeah, fuck you and your watch. You know what, Tails? Fuck, I hate that watch.
He's just saying that the whole time, like, you fucking pussy, grabbing that fucking
He's like,
watch.
throw that shit off. Like, why are you carrying it around?
That's the only gift anybody ever gave me. See, this is your plane. It says Sonic on the side. You made me paint that. I don't give a fuck.
He's like, I paid for this shit. You know, who's the one stealing rings? I don't see your ass out running around the fields.
I just like to see, like, fucking, like, there's, like, a jewelry store, Sonic wearing, like, a black, like, it's obviously Sonic, but just, like, maybe a black ski mask, like, give me all the fucking rings! All the fucking rings! Like, hits the counter, like, shing!
They start bouncing and rolling out.
It's my life force! It's my life force! Just starts eating these things, runs out the door.
I like how her way of getting out of being, like, kidnapped is like, oh, if I beat him at this game, I can be free. You know?
Or she even says, like, I'll stop being your hostage, so it's not even kind of unclear. Is she just...
I think she's into the hostage thing.
She's, like, kind of like... And she has, like, Stockholm Syndrome to an extent, or S&M kind of thing, maybe?
Yeah, I don't even think it's Stockholm Syndrome, because it's, like, more like not like they're necessarily captured. What the fuck is that robot doing? He's, like, washing the windows?
He's washing the windows. That one just looks like he's...
Yeah, what's the other guy doing? He's, like, fucking, like, pounding the dildo in that guy's ass. That's why he's so happy back there.
Like, he has no problem. Like, a fucking robot just came out through
She's
my
like,
fucking...
yay, look at this. She's like, let me go with my captor into this little pod.
Start pushing buttons.
Just pushing buttons to get this fact. Like, he's going to rape me in the ass back here as we take off.
And he doesn't seem that worried about his daughter. He's like, oh, wait.
Sarah, I'm fat and useless.
How do I run this country? What do I do?
And he's like, God, fucking, how long is this going to take, Tails? Can't you fly any fucking faster?
Stupid. Why are you flying like a 1940s plane? Was clearly in the fucking future. Because this isn't Mobius. This is clearly the future. Because I'm about to go down to New York in a second. So,
yeah,
or mock New York or whatever.
Yeah, fake, dark. Because this is almost
Cityopolis.
Like... Yeah, Cityopolis.
American Cityopolis. Whatever.
Republicanopolis.
Yeah. So... Like, I'm going to say, like, I think it's, like, there's some things about this, like, I think they're trying to almost make it, like, down below is where all the levels from Sonic are at. Because there's, like, springboards, there's spikes coming out of nowhere, that's where you see a lot of them, like, different, like, I wish to kind of see more of this, you know what I mean? Because there's a couple of moments where you just see the two of them running along landscapes and all that. It looks really cool. It's kind of like an extended version of Sonic Boom.
Exactly. Like I'll tell you, the song's like, hey, Tails, fucking nice flying, retard.
You ain't even paid off the fucking insurance on this motherfucker yet.
He's like, God damn it, Tails. Like, now I gotta buy another fucking plane for you to work on.
Later, that plane's all fixed up, and, yeah. No, there's even a part, because when they're leaving, he says, like, we're grabbing the tornado and going home. He says that to Knuckles. Like, how the fuck did they get that thing there?
Yeah, exactly. Who the fuck is fixing that?
Yeah. Then they get back. I like how they have this pose thing, he's just staring there. They're kind of creepily, awkwardly staring at the camera. Like, hey, what's up? We know what you came here for.
Yeah, we're gonna go down here, fucking fight this shit.
Just makes that noise as he spins. I can't take credit for that. There's I saw like a Sonic Abridged thing, and they did that. So.
That's nice.
That was funny.
But, well, I could see almost like this being sort of like the worlds that like Sonic runs through, maybe not. I don't know.
Right here, I can see this being kind of like Angel Island from like Sonic 3 right here.
Yeah, because there's spikes. Well, it's in this dark zone though, so it's got to be something else.
I think it's meant to be kind of like, all right, this is the levels, because all this looks cool, but like this doesn't look so bad. It looks a little misty, but you got springboards, you got spikes. I think the idea is like this is like the levels from the game in this world below, and then we just don't see all of it. We just see this little section. I mean, Caterkiller fucking massive.
Yeah, and just fucking like destroy.
Which before it's just a stupid little like worm thing that just wiggles back and forth back in Marble Zone
and shoots fucking little beam balls out.
Mm-hmm. Like this is kind of cool right here. Like this is the kind of Sonic stuff I like. They even got the designs of the monsters of the robots down pretty good. They usually kind of take some creative design with them.
That's always like the worst part is like sometimes like people get a hold of it. It doesn't matter what property it is, but it's almost like they're not fans enough, so they start putting their own ideas in there. It's like, nobody gives a fuck about your idea. Mm-hmm. I know that you are a creative person, but here's the thing. You're creating somebody else's stuff. Go make your own shit if you want to be creative. Well,
I think sometimes there's a way around it. I think there are ways, like, if it seems like it'll be a rough translation to, like, a narrative, like, I don't think an animated Sonic movie would be, but, like, see, now we're in New York. It's all, like, just all overgrown. Like, this is cool. It's kind of like, I Am Legend or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Will Smith comes running across the street.
There's one, just chase him down like that red like Mustang, just firing at him like he's chasing like a deer.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think that the Sonic. I think that like if you do like speaking of like people taking their own takes on Sonic or whatever, or just like
just series in general mostly.
I think there's some things like if you were because like. How do I put this? Like, I think it, like, literally ripping, like, say, something like Ant-Man, like, his exact outfit from, like, the original Ant-Man comics, that would look awkward. So I kind of get kind of changing around, making it more look like a motorcycle helmet, So there's some things I get in changing it, mm-hmm. but there are other things where it's a little bit more like, oh, you don't need that. Like, I don't need to know why the old man's there. I don't know why the old owl is there. You know what I mean? I don't really... Or, like, I can see why they put the girl there. They wanted to probably sell, like, a body pillow eventually, so that's why the girl's there.
I feel like that girl could be just like Amy.
Oh, she could be Amy.
But they want like I just feel like they want like the relatable human. That's kind of like that's like almost like the Sonic X thing. It's I think they just gotta have that relatable kid.
I think they wanted another reason to have 12-year-old boys watch. I think that's the main reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like we got the 8-year-old boys, but we need the 12-year-old boys. Market.
Yeah.
12-year-old boys need a couple like titty grabs in there, and then they'll be happy.
Titty grabs and a belly shirt. All right, we're good. Throw her in there.
But It's almost like, because you think about like Sonic X, even though I think Sonic X was just like aping like fucking Pokemon. They're like, oh, let's put the 10-year-old boy in there, and it's almost like these Sonic creatures are like his own Pokemon.
I feel like that's kind of how it was. I mean, I'll say it was interesting how they got some of the more recent stuff in there. What would have been interesting to me is if the Sonic Saturday morning cartoon continued forward, and like just seeing like their interpretation of Knuckles or other characters would come into the show. I know the comics continued it, but actually seeing
But like in animation, like, you know what would be awesome, I feel like, is to do like, this is probably a tough sell nowadays because it's almost too old by now, but to do a Sonic Saturday animated series, but like a brand new movie, like a fucking hour-and-a-half long movie. I don't care if it's straight to video, like a Warner Brothers one or something like that, but like, just do that, like, in the same style with all the old characters, but then now you can start adding in like Knuckles and so on, and kind of like maybe even Amy and a couple of the other ones.
Like Fang, you know.
Yeah, just certain characters that are kind of like some of the newer ones into there, and just kind of have it like, okay, this is what it's like almost, maybe not 20 years later, but, you know, like in the future.
If they have Big the Cat, they just have him just like brutally murdered. They just rated R just for that.
It's
It'd be worth it.
For one scene.
Or just have him strung up like on like a fucking tree, and like the tree's almost tilting over, like 'cause he's too fucking heavy for it.
Well, it's one of those, I feel
It's the no-go zone. Look, the last one who crossed being hung up by his own fucking fishing pole.
Exactly.
Froggy's jammed into his fucking mouth.
Shoved up his ass.
Fuck Froggy. Fuck Froggy. Fuck Big.
I was like, Big the Cat, what really more is just because, like, I don't know, it's such an odd one to play as. I mean, I know in Japan fishing's fucking popular, so they got to jam fishing into, like, everything, but...
Well, it's just one of those things, like, plus they make him, like... I mean, you know, there's, like, the dumb, likable guy, and then there's... Duh, Froggy! Duh! Just like, Jesus Christ, what the... No wonder the frog's fucking getting away from you all the time. Just like the stupid fucking cat just won't get away from me, you know.
Well, there's that weird kind of theory that, like, you know, children love retards. And you laugh at that, but it's true. Think about it. How many times do they put retards, like, in children's stuff? Because kids like, oh, it's a retard! They're funny, mommy!
I believe, yeah, so that's the textbook version of it. That's what I like to imagine, like the studios, like all talking like that. Like, well, we know what's gonna really sell this. Duh, Froggy!
A bunch of guys in suits doing that. Like, look at me, I'm a dumb idiot. A bunch of Japanese guys like, oh, so this is what's gonna be in it. Duh, look at me, I'm retarded.
I'm American. Take my money.
Who's a stupid American now?
Yeah. Big can die. Short and simple of it. I remember that was a still they often use to sell this. The two of them hanging.
I was just them hanging out like, yo, Sonic and Tails are hanging out.
Let's cuddle, Sonic.
Sun's out, dick's out.
I noticed something, like, I'm not complaining about it, but, like, I noticed something, like, all the Sonic male characters always walk around, like, maybe just shoes and gloves. All the female characters, clothed entirely. I get it is kind of a weird dynamic. Like,
yeah, well, it's that kind of thing that, like, apparently a man can walk around with his dick hanging out. Okay.
I just imagine it's just like I don't know, like that shit's tucked in, kind of like a dog. You know, that's why we don't see it.
Should just be like
my chili dog.
I guess it's like the thing like in Dragon Ball Z. It's like, what's the only nudity you see in Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, you see
Goku's
tits.
penis.
You see tits once in a while.
Do you really? I don't think you see.
In Dragon Ball, well, isn't there like
I don't think you ever see tits.
Isn't there the part where
there's a lot of jokes that are close to it, but it's not like you.
Isn't there the chick who like actually gets topless to throw off the guard of like original Dragon Ball when they first go to the tournament? Isn't the chick that goes topless to throw off the guard of like one of the fighters?
I think she does, but I don't think it
and then he
shows.
And then he just like socks her in the face or some shit.
Yeah, I don't think it just like full on shows tits in your eye. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. There's a lot of like implied stuff and like that very close, like, you know, maybe like side boob action, you know, like where like Goku's like, oh, and then like puts his finger like in Bulma's vagina. And,
every
like,
so often they would have like I'd see something like because they showed like whatchamacallit, like because they had Dragon Ball on like on Toonami for a little while, the dubbed version. And he's a kid. I was like, how'd this get on here? Because even if like, because what was it? There was like that part I just mentioned, and they digitally add on like a sports bra or something like that.
Or just like when they show like Goku's like dick, it always had like the leaf. Flower. Yeah, the leaf on it. That's right.
Or yeah, very Christian programming. They wanted to do the whole Adam and Eve thing. But the reaction would still be like duh duh duh, like a guy like just like tripping over his own dick over this girl. So, it's one of those things. Like as a kid, like I know what's behind that censor bar, motherfucker. Yeah. Or there's even that part where like Yamcha first sees like Bulma naked for the first time. Like, she's got to have a shower. She wanted to take a bed. Like, I bet they're hiding the Dragon Balls in here. Like, and throws, like, the fucking, the blanket off her. And then you hear that, "Duh!" And as he walks out, his eyes are literally nipples. Like, his pupils are
like they're poking out, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's one of the, and he's like, "Duh, duh." It's like, what kind of fucking badass bandit are you? You never seen a pair of tits before? Jesus.
Apparently in Japan, but it just must have been like one of those. That's probably why there's like weird.
Way more modest there.
Yeah, because you know when you watch like those 70s like samurai movies, and there's always like some
There's
weird
always a fucking
rape
weird,
scene.
awkward rape scene in that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's probably what it's all about. Like nobody fucking saw tits, and then it's like they see one. It's like 6 guys out in the fucking woods. Ain't nobody gonna stop you in the 1600s.
Well, that's the thing that always make you awkward whenever watching, like, because you don't know what you're getting. And then if there's a woman alone, there's like 4 other guys.
There's nothing good gonna happen.
Nothing good.
If it's a 70s Asian movie, all bad's gonna happen when a woman gets alone with 6 fucking like.
Either she's gonna have to kill herself to get out of it, or
or they're just gonna rape her, and then they'll just cut to something else. That's almost like afterwards. It's like that's done.
If it was progressive for the time, like the guy comes in and saves her.
Yeah, but like
maybe it's one of the few where she kicks all their asses. One of the
that
few
mostly
that
doesn't happen in the 70s.
That
is like a 90s 2000s martial arts movie.
I've seen ones where that did happen, but then she dies before the end of the movie. So
yeah.
It's like, here's for fucking defending your own rights.
See, that's the part I don't get in Sonic right here, though. It's like, okay, she's flying around with Robotnik, and she's in love with Sonic or whatever the fuck she is, and then she's also hanging out with Robotnik. I think she's like a 2-timing whore. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what the.
And then she's like, here's the thing: is like she could fucking like whoop Robotnik's ass, but
she's letting it go.
But she's like letting it go on. So what does that mean?
Yeah, it's a little uneven there, you know. So
I don't think
they thought 9/11 was bad.
yeah. But this is when they came back. It's kind of like, you know that movie They Come Back, and then there's a sequel, They Come Back for More. That's what it was. There was Osama bin Laden, and then there was Osama bin Laden comes back for more. But we thought he died. That's what we thought. But he was resurrected and came back in a giant spaceship and crashed it into New York.
You know they dropped his body in the sea? Well, it turns out the same place they dropped off Godzilla, where they were testing.
Yeah, Osama bin Laden found Godzilla.
Kaiju Laden.
You know, zombie Osama bin Laden came back, rode Godzilla in, mind controlling him into that America was evil, showing him propaganda flicks like Clockwork Orange. Just Godzilla's tied up, eyes wide. Rah! Rah!
Did you by chance see Shin Godzilla?
No, I want to.
It's really good.
Is it fucking awesome?
It's good. Well, there is a lot of. It's like the old school Godzilla in the sense of you see a lot of politics in like, you know, a lot of. It's kind of like loosely a metaphor on the tsunami and all the red tape about politics.
Yeah, I knew that was kind. I knew it was kind of based on that. I see it like for $20 at the store.
It's good. I rented it. It's really good.
And I was like, it was one of those ones. I'm like, okay, it looks sweet. I like pretty much anything Godzilla, but I'm like,
and it's a good.
I want to spend $20 right now. That's all I thought.
It's a good balance between. I mean, you know, it's once again Godzilla is the only monster in it, but they do some interesting things with it. Like he has metamorphoses before he becomes the Godzilla we know.
Huh. That's cool. Is it better than the American one?
I only saw like the first 30 minutes of it, and I didn't really care that much for the American one.
The American one's one of those ones. It's definitely worth checking out. Like it does have a lot of like talking and melodrama in it, and the action's slim. But when there is action, it's full on badass.
And this one, there is a lot of talking in it, but it seems a lot more of kind of like just focusing on the problem rather than my family I haven't seen in years.
Yeah, that part. That's what I mean. The melodrama's kind of bad, but like if you disinclude that.
Now, something I wanted to mention earlier about this, though.
Taylor, you got that fucking stupid watch on your hand still? Jesus Christ. No wonder he knows where we're at.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, well, that's also, like, just hey, you know, Robotnik's never been the most trustworthy guy. And the fact he gives you this watch, it's just like, you don't question the idea of where he's at.
It's like if Ronald Reagan gave you a watch. You gotta be careful.
If Ronald Reagan gave you a watch?
Actually, if Ronald Reagan gave you a watch, you hold on to that shit because you know it's gonna be worth something, but...
I'm just curious why. I mean, Nixon. If Nixon gave you a watch, I think you'd be worried about it.
Yeah, well, because I feel Ronald Reagan's more just like it's Ronald Reagan. I don't think is necessarily the bad guy. It's the guy standing behind him that you always see. It's like they whispers in his ear, and then Ronald Reagan turns and says something. I think that's the guy you gotta fear. Is the guy whispering in his ear
because he had like Alzheimer's near the end. So
yeah, towards the end it was just like Nancy. We're going with the Star Wars program. That's great, Ron. That's great. Yeah, I know you like movies and all, Ron, but can we not call it Star Wars? He's like, well, I want to call it Close Encounters. Okay, we're not calling it that either.
There was like a joke. Apparently, it was kind of it was acted. But it was meant to look very realistic. There was this one. He was a Brazilian actor. He'd come to Joe Rogan. He'd just probably be very challenging, as if he snuck up on Joe Rogan with a camera, and he'd be like, like, I want to battle you, Joe Rogan. You always say to smoke pot, but you should not smoke pot. It is bad, Joe Rogan. You know, and like it was actually.
So he's like some Egyptian guy or something like that.
No, he was like Brazilian. I just can't. You
said they were at the back.
What?
You said the Brazilian part at the back, but it was the accent that threw me off.
I'm bad with accents, but yeah. He says, I want to fight you, Joe Rogan. You hear me? You know. And he's just like, no, I'm not gonna fight you, dude. And this and that. He's like, you tell people to smoke marijuana, but that is bad, you know. And then Joe Rogan, he just goes on this rant. He's just like,
poor uneducated Brazilian guy.
Well, it was all just a bit because the guy's playing a character, but they made it very believable. And Joe, he's not playing it too comically, but he's all like, you know what, man? You just said what you love, like Ronald Reagan, right? It's right. You love Ronald Reagan, the greatest president ever. He's just like, he loves to smoke pot, dude. He made a movie called like, what was it? Something with Bonzo, like. Business with Bonzo. You know what he do? He smoked pot with his monkey, stare at the space. Think about aliens, man. He was smoking pot with his monkey. I gotta go. Just walks out of there.
That's pretty funny.
Now we're back to the movie.
Back to Sonic and Metal Sonic. It's like, oh,
it looks like me. Tails is always freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, he's always got like the over the top reaction, like shut the fuck up. And then Knuckles has this weird like Australian cowboy hat on.
Tails looks like, I don't know, they all seem like the different kind of like potheads in this. Like Tails is the one who's always
paranoid.
Panicked the cops are gonna come in and steal his stash.
Sonic's very cool about it.
He just wants to kind of relax and just hang out. Knuckles is the guy who's like, hey man, let's go find something to eat.
He's like, whoa man, check out those fucking blue lights showing up.
You're a treasure hunter? Yeah, a treasure hunter of Twinkies, man. Sounds awesome.
It's like, Knuckles, you know what treasure hunter means is you just break into people's houses and steal shit and call it okay.
Pretty much, yeah. They're already dead.
Yeah, they're dead people, so it's okay.
I made them dead.
Shit, I don't want to work a real 9-to-5 job.
Sometimes you gotta steal some people and take their fucking emeralds.
Once you
kill some people, steal some people. Ah! Kill some people, steal their fucking emeralds. Yeah. Fuck that robot.
Robot
Hope
just
it
going
fucking
like,
dies.
ah!
Hope that robot fucking dies.
It just falls apart here, and they're just all stand there.
I'm wondering why they give him the hat. Maybe just like, let's mix it up.
That's the only thing I could think of, because it's like Knuckles is always like, you know, the black character of the thing, and then like she's just shaking her ass at him.
She's pulling his stash.
I know.
She's like,
no, Tails is like, what's going on? Sonic, I've never seen fucking in the flesh before. And Sonic's like, oh, I've never seen
either.
Yeah, I've never seen a man fuck a cat thing either, so first time for everything, I guess. Knuckles is looking away like, well, I have seen this, but I know that it's not nice to stare. So look at that. Look at fucking Robotnik looks ashamed of like what
awkwardly,
he did.
yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck, this girl's 16? Shit, these guys could turn me in. Fuck you guys.
He's just like blaring Iggy Pop. Sweet 16 and leather boots.
He's like, fuck you. 300 years ago, this was somebody's wife.
Shit, they were thought to die at like at age 20 back then. So
yeah, it's like, fuck. That's why in Jewish culture they could become a woman at 13. Just saying.
There'll be a couple of these shots where it's like everything's very well detailed. Like metal was very well detailed right there, but
he's
like
all shimmery.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Robotnik's just this round mass of red and yellow. Like you could kind of, well, probably just because the fucking VHS / like internet stream version of it like has that kind of weird look. But probably is like, if you're looking at the original drawing, there's probably some nice lines.
Mm-hmm. No, I actually do like the art style and the animation of this. It's just mainly the dub, and then the story goes some weird directions. That's it, you know. Even though like all the like floating island stuff, it seems kind of weird, like a weird choice. It doesn't look bad, you know.
No, there's nothing. Overall, it is a cool kind of movie. And it's one of those ones that for anybody who's a Sonic fan, you should go out and see it. But probably your best stuff if you can grab a hold of a Japanese subtitled one, like many animes, it's probably better that way.
Mm-hmm. I think they took a lot of I think Sonic itself kind of took inspiration from Dragon Ball Z just with Super Sonic, but this
they fight like that. They're literally doing like instant transmission and fucking teleporting around with explosions and stuff.
Which, you know, it makes it look very intense, but at the same exact time, it also makes it like, you know what? They're so fast, we don't gotta fucking animate them fighting.
I know.
They appear there for a second, explosion, jump away.
Yeah, see like this. Like,
boom,
see,
boom, boom,
yeah, what
boom,
do you do? We're just going to animate some like red and blue lines. We're animate like Democrats versus Republicans right here.
Sonic always starts off the left side of the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think that is?
He's blue. Robotnik always comes from the right side of the screen.
He's red. Come on, I'm just saying. It's there. It's being pointed out.
Look out, loose change. We got one better than the... Oh, fuck, I can't even talk today.
Oh, Tails is like, I gotta go save him. You know, it's like, where's he going?
The fuck you gonna do, Tails?
And Robotnik's, of course, got like fucking 15-year-old girl strapped up in his car.
Very bondagey, yeah.
You know,
like, hey, this is legal in Japan.
Yeah, you could strap a 15-year-old girl in your car, no worries.
Hey, the fact that she's kind of smacking him around, that was considered progressive back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure, he's gonna grope her later and fucking bind her up, but, you know.
You know, and show her a video of, like, her having his fucking kid, but still. You know, just saying. This thing looks like a very small, like, rock coming down first, and then it's like, what the... That is not nearly the same size as, like, Tails and Knuckles when it went past them.
I just like to imagine all the robots just living their everyday life. Like, man, every time these fucking animals come by, they fuck our shit up.
If there's just the regular robots living their normal life, you know...
They're not the death bots. They're the ones that are just kind of, like, left over.
Yeah, you know, they clean the streets. They fucking work normal jobs. Some of them work in education. You know, the blue-collar working robots. And they're the guys that always have to suffer.
The I Want You posters of Robotnik, and it's just the one hedgehog. That's the only thing. He's kind of like the Bin Laden to, like, their whole...
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Robotnik's giving us a pretty good life. Yeah, a little bit of a dictator, not gonna lie, but...
That little spin thing is that little, like...
Bam!
Not the upside down, just like they just took that still image, just woo! Spun up to him.
Spun it.
That's how we know we're a different world.
Yeah, we're a different world because
But yeah, that's New York, or modeled after New York down there.
But in the future, it's like the planet could have changed. Or maybe it's just New York, too. Maybe it's New York.
Newer York?
Well, because there was York, then there was New York, now there's New York.
The newest York.
Yeah. The latest.
Look how he looks like a fucking crackhead. It's not going to be a pain in my egg. Then there's just this random thing like, oh, look, there's just a warp hole here.
Yeah,
he can fly, but he's like, I'm going to hold on to his foot.
Well, it's weird when they have Knuckles fly, it's like he's just hovering there like, yo, what up? Like, why am I flying like this? God knows why.
I think they just took it and ran with it. Like, oh, it kind of glides a little bit.
Yeah, here's this warp hole that'll take us back. I mean, I guess, I don't know, it's one of those ones. You know that, like, some adult, like, is playing fucking Sonic at, like, age 40 years old, kind of going, okay, now I gotta make a story out of this.
He's having a Shack soda right there. Look at that. Spelled differently.
Yeah, Soda Shack. I can't miss Soda Shacks. I don't know if they exist anymore.
I think they probably still do.
I haven't seen them at 7-Eleven. That was the
like,
one, that was the one place I knew where they were.
What's he gonna do to this old man right here?
He's like, oh, is that you, Sonic? Oh, God, no!
Yeah, I still think they should have came home and he just, like, hanging in, like, the doorway.
With a note, like fucking Metal Sonic writes, like, a suicide note on it. And leaves them there. Be like, you know, I know I was always a nuisance to all you guys, and it's probably just better this way if I off myself, because I clearly was no help at all, and I'm just a fat piece of shit.
They get there, like, Tails like, well, this is clearly wrong, Sonic.
Sonic reads about the first, like, sentence and just tosses him and shows, whatever.
Well, Sonic's like,
I don't got time to read this fucking monologue.
Tails is all like, oh, well, clearly something's wrong. His arm is broken, yet he still took the time to hang himself. Tails, just give me this.
Tails, chuck him off the edge of the fucking floating island.
Then he just lands on, like, the fucking, like, you know, like, in front of a school.
Spikes.
In front of a school of, like, fucking, like, robot children.
The robot's, like, holding the children back, like, look away, kids! Look away!
It's one of the meat bags! They've come for us!
I like how he's like, hey, you're wearing Sonic's favorite outfit, which I can't imagine Sonic ever wearing this outfit.
No, that looks 90s. That looks beyond 90s. What the fuck's this M? Is that supposed to be like a Nike
It's like
thing?
a mix between, like, 90s and almost, like, 80s, like, all at once. Like, I don't even know how to fucking...
I'm worried you may just came and put on this fucking clothes. Imagine the awkward scene of what that would be like. Put this on.
Yeah, Metal Sonic's, like, push him in the corner. Yes, slowly.
Well, the thing is, he can't talk, so what's he doing? It's just like, I can just be like a long, drawn out, like, Darren Aronofsky-esque scene. He just holds the shirt in front of him, just points at it, points at him. But by, like, very low lighting, punches the wall, holds it up.
Closer.
And he just stands there as he slowly puts it on. He's just looming over him.
I like this scene right here where like Tails is working on his computer chip. He's like, this is how we're gonna figure out where it is. You know, this was where we'll learn where Metal Sonic like took Sonic to. And Knuckles like, oh yeah, I get it. I just picture Tails looking up and go like, you don't fucking get it. Your brain can't comprehend this. Oh shit, I guess it can.
It's not punching in hip hop. You just get fucking confused. I've seen it.
Yeah, you fuck.
Fuck you. Don't step in my shit.
This is what I'm good at. Everybody looks at me like a fucking kid. I'm a child genius, for fuck's sake. Shut that fucking hell up!
I'm the one that always comes in last. I'm the one who always makes fun of. No one wants to play as me.
I'm always the one who gets the least amount of levels, but
I'm the one who knows what the fuck he's doing while you guys just run and like measure dicks and suck each other in the fucking face all day.
Yeah, you know what? Why is there not a game called Sonic and Tails? There's a Sonic and Knuckles game. No Tails in that fucking title.
If I'm there, I'm just along for the fucking ride. Fuck you.
Who the fuck do you think built the plane? Just saying. Just saying.
So that watch. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Tails.
Where does this old guy come from? Like this, sure. He says sure right here, not
He's
sir.
like my counselor.
Is it like elf people or something? That's the thing.
Oh, I guess they are fixing it. Here's Knuckles fixing the plane.
Yeah, well, he said...
They give Knuckles
How'd they get it there, though?
Knuckles, you're black. Go fix the plane. He's like, oh, you fucking Tails. She's like, yeah, when you're smart, you know what to say. What are you going to do about it, Knuckles? Huh? What are you going to do? I'm orange. What are you going to fucking do about it?
He gets there, Sonic gets back, there's another, like, Tails' corpse just hanging there from a fucking...
Yeah. Knuckles just points out, like, I don't know what the fuck happened there.
That Sonic's like, I saw it coming. Moving on.
He's always crying, so, you know how it is.
About his feelings.
This is one of those ones, too, that, like, Japan teaches you. It's like, okay, if you got a woman and she's, like, tied up as your prisoner, all you have to do is give her nice stuff, and then she'll be totally fine with hanging out as a prisoner.
Yeah, just slave lay her into that relationship.
Exactly. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm. It's actually, I'll say, this dress is she's dressed a little bit, like, less slutty compared to the last one.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's the breastfeeding, they already have...
I like how Dr. Robotnik's like fucking
One kid's doing a snot rocket on his back. Did you see that?
Yeah, and Dr. Robotnik doesn't care because he's just looking at tits. She's like, you fucking old man. It's like, I don't know, it's just that...
Why doesn't she just take control of that thing? It's like, oh, well, she's not old enough to have a driver's license, so that's the thing I got over on her.
Yeah, Robotnik said he'd just turn her over to the authorities if she decided to drive.
Yeah. Well, shit, he's got you there. Now here's where Knuckles drops in all his knowledge on geology.
He's like, guess what? You know,
I've been all over this
I don't know
planet.
these computer things, but here's the thing. I know a lot about the planet, and the planet's about to die. All it's going to take is one fucking, North Korean attack. And everything's going to blow up.
Well, he said just going like, okay, so the back of our planet is held together with ice, which has lava running through it. And if one of those things goes, well, we're fucked. Just like... So, of all the years this happened, the thousands, like, the millions of years it probably took for that to form, no asshole ever crashed a plane into that?
He's like, well, fuck, Al Gore predicted it 300 years ago, I'm just saying. Did you see that fucking movie?
I did. The only documentary I ever watched.
Yeah, other than that, though, I get bored about the documentaries, and I just go out and start punching shit. And turn on my
Look, he's all like, look at me, I'm smart. Yep. That was my moment to shine and show how smart
And then fucking Sonic steps in.
His arms are blue for a second there.
I know, fucking like, go back and fix it? Fuck it.
Yeah.
That's what I about old day animations. Like, not worth it.
Well, it's just one of those
We'll just fire the guy and have him go home and, like, commit suicide because he brought great shame onto our animation studio.
It is a thing. Like, if you do fuck up, they don't always fire you. They just, like, put you in the corner and have you just do, like, menial tasks. Like, that's what happened to the Game Boy guy. Like, after Virtua Boy, even though he made the Game Boy...
You know, it made fucking billions of dollars from the Game Boy legacy.
And they failed on, like, the Virtua Boy. They just put him into a corner. And it's just like, you just do small, mundane jobs. It is the most dishonorable thing you could do. And then he eventually said, I'm going to quit. Then he later died.
Yeah, he quits. Like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to get in this car and drive out of here. And then fucking dies.
You look at this fucking security cam from the light. You just see Mario was in the other car.
Probably what the thing was. He's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You know what? Sony said they're going to let me make a handheld for them called the PSP, and I'm going to go make it. Gets in his fucking car, yeah. It's like Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. He's fucking driving around, like fucking drifting these corners, and next thing you know, gets fucking caught off, flips over, and next thing you know, fucking Mario standing over him with a super scope. Like Jason Statham.
Let's go, motherfucker. Boom. Going back to metal here.
Death to all but metal.
It's a good Steel Panther song.
You should just. I just feel like when they have like I'd like to put a soundtrack on here that was just like all music from about like 1995, give or take.
I would have like I was making a joke about Red Hot Chili Peppers' "Party on Your Pussy." Maybe something off like Uplift Mofo Party, something kind of like that. Mm-hmm. I know that's more like really early 90s, but or even possibly late 80s.
Yes, that's like I think it's 89.
I'd still do that.
But yeah, well, I mean that's fine.
That fits Sonic's mood.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, because I think that he needs like some heavy metal tracks in here too, and maybe some industrial rock and some grunge rock too. Fucking even it out.
Some Chemical Brothers.
Yeah. You gotta have a little bit of techno stuff. Gotta have a little bit of angry rap.
You gotta have like that rap rock fusion with like Cypress Hill and someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Have like the fucking.
These are the dun 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 like the techno jazz thing they got going here.
They got cool music. I will say that they do have cool music in this. It has a sweet soundtrack, but.
Now it looks like such an epic battle. Like, let's have it from a distance shot. Lights, boom.
We got one background. Just got to animate some fucking
he's moving
snow
fast.
clouds.
Now this was that line. I remember like after this line right here, like, you know everything you're gonna do because it's not gonna help you because I know everything you're gonna do. Strange, isn't it? Me and a friend of mine back when we were like in the 5th grade.
Did you just run up each other across the
we
fucking
didn't say
playground?
that, no.
Like slam heads into each other.
No, we were playing Smash Brothers, and because we were like very competitive towards that, we played Smash Brothers. Like that's something one of us would say, like, yeah, high five, and just keep playing. Right here, Sonic's trying to hide his boner because Metal sees up her dress.
He's like, oh. No, I don't think he's hiding his boner. He gets his dick fucking slammed on the.
Mm-hmm. But he's all blushing because he knows what's going on with Metal right there too.
I guess, but it's like because it comes up in the.
And she's just like the same still, like, woo!
I don't like let's not even
layered.
Not twist. Yeah, literally a layer going down.
Yeah, like just like scaled down. Is it just? He's just like helping him with his back problems right there. That's all he's doing.
I don't know. Fucking Tails comes back in. And I was like, Jesus Christ, Tails, you almost killed me with that goddamn prop plane.
Right here, it's just like I kind of because he even acknowledged it. Oh, another design flaw. Just like, how far did it take you to get before you realize, oh, it's a fucking turtle?
I know exactly. It's like.
It comes back around, I get, but yeah.
I think it's supposed to be like the joke, kind of like those turtles would always come very slow on like the Sky Zone level.
Oh yeah, maybe that's a joke. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really look like that turtle too much
because they kind of use a lot of the robots right at that one like montage scene of them running through the planet.
Knuckles just has such a.
She's just having a good time. I think she's just like a thrill seeker.
I know, and like poor Knuckles is like falling here and everything. And Tails rolls down like this big snowball. This part, Knuckles' face, he's got like square eyeball or like octagon eyeball.
He's like, "Oh, I'm with a girl. What do I do?"
Like, I have ass on my chest.
And then here's one of the parts that was edited out because like Tails
Tails has got like his hands on her tit. He's like, "Dude, Tails, I thought you had more dignity than that. Look at that.
That's my pussy.
You don't fucking touch that."
You know how hard it was to get this white girl? Shit.
We're gonna take her back to like fucking. A kid in Compton. Everybody there's gonna be praising me like, oh shit, man.
He's got a white girl.
Always wanted to see those pink titties. Even though she's probably Japanese, but
probably. Her name's Sarah. Her name's Sarah, but then again, like,
yeah, but that could be
I don't know. It could be either way.
Weird dubbing thing. Because a lot of times I know like most people are like, that's how they think that they draw like Americans. And that's why they draw them like that. I'm like,
one of the reasons I say this is because Sonic was also a Japanese character made essentially for Americans. He's even inspired off Bill Clinton, which I like to admit. She's a metal show, like, yeah, right there.
And fucking Knuckles is on fire. He's like, well, just take the fucking hat off, Knuckles. Nobody likes that hat. You look goofy in it.
But no, I was going to say, well, because
Crocodile Dundee's cool. You don't look cool as like Crocodile Dundee. Just saying.
Someone had to. The whole thing with like, because like Sonic was partially inspired off Bill Clinton to some extent, like his attitude and all that. So I just like to imagine just like Sonic just going out there, just like cheating on Amy all the time.
Well, it's kind of like that'd be before Bill Clinton was president.
Well, he was it cool? Let's see,
92.
92. Well, as time went on, I think they added to it because I've heard multiple things where he was more inspired by Bill Clinton in that aspect. Maybe they just really paid attention to like.
I was gonna say because that just sounds really weird to be.
Oh, look at this American senator, huh?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I mean,
maybe that's something they just put in a press release just to sell more Americans.
That probably is. I feel like that's probably like more maybe like one of those ones that came along as time went on. I can see, but I can't imagine that at first.
Because he always looked like when I first saw Sonic, I thought he was like a punk rock version of Felix the Cat.
Yeah, I guess he does sort of have that kind of feel.
Because of the eyes and the mouth.
He's got the Felix the Cat eyes. Mm-hmm. It's weird that nobody else in Sonic has those eyes.
Why the fuck did the president drive himself? How bad is this? He's clearly in like a third world country of some kind. If he's
Yeah, he's just like
The owl's there. Why is the owl your fucking right-hand man on this shit?
yeah. Don't bring the fucking owl. If you're gonna bring anybody, it's like God. Don't you know? Probably because the owl's the only person you like bully into dude and stuff.
Yeah, like, no one can take this politician seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Daddy! She's like, I don't care about anyone but you, Sonic. I don't care about Robotic or Daddy. And she's like, Daddy!
It's like the Sultan in like Aladdin. You kind of always look at that guy like, how the fuck does that guy get shit done?
Yeah, he just kind of stumbles his way into everything.
Like literally bumbles his way into being a fucking dictator.
Well, that guy, like, he's clearly, like, I can't imagine Agrabah's clearly not in a great state when you think back on it. Because, you know, you got street rats running around everywhere. They got people like, you stole some fucking bread, take his arm.
Cut his fucking arm off because for the Sultan. But it just makes you kind of wonder, like, what, like,
Jafar maybe was
like, what's the Sultan like once, like, he, like, gets a prisoner and he's like, okay, close that door now. Gets behind the closed doors. How will we punish you? Ooh!
Well, also, it's just like, imagine, all right, because we see how Jasmine looks. Look at that fucking Sultan. Imagine how hot Jasmine's mom had to be for her to still come out like that.
Exactly. Well, who knows? Maybe the Sultan was, like, one of these, like, studs for a while, and then he just became a bumbling old man.
Bumbling old man. Yeah, maybe. Just had her later, but yeah. The old whack-a-mole thing, whack-a-knuckles.
Whack-a-knuckles. He's like, his part's like, hey, you stepped on my fucking head, Sonic. You're going down, motherfucker.
I did notice, like, watching this again, there isn't a whole lot of actual animation between Sonic and Metal a whole lot. Like, a few little segments, but it's usually just, like...
Flashes
and boo, 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 back and forth at each other. I mean, I think the art style is still great. I think Yuji Naka actually had a hand in the development in this.
Little Knuckles is just
Production
trying
design.
to punch things out, and then, of course, Sonic's the one that breaks it. All I know is punching.
Now they got the whole point across that, like, the reason why, what's his name? The reason why Metal's starting to turn good because he's infusing more of his personality into Sonic through that watch Robotnik gave him, so it came full circle in that.
He's
but
like, oh, you fucking tails in that watch.
he's not that nice. He's gonna still drop, like, catch that motherfucker. He's still kind of a dick 'cause he's like Sonic, so.
I know. And like, Sonic's like, I gotta save you! And Knuckles,
Come on, bro!
he's like, come on, reach for it! Reach for it! Terminator, crawl up here!
Down, no, 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 no. For a second, he's going all the way up there just to slap his hand out of the way.
He's like, fuck
There is only one Sonic.
He's like, and Knuckles is like pulling him back up. He's like, dude, it's just a robot.
Let him fucking die.
He's got no fucking human ability. He's like,
He's not one of us.
Yeah, let him die. Let him die by his own creation. This is like the
this
kind of
part was
movie in like
emotional.
300 years when robots look back on us, they're going to be like, see, this movie here had
They
robot
got it.
sympathy in it. You know what I mean? Unlike those Terminator movies that were just all like negative robot propaganda.
It's like the scene's kind of like if you're watching the American dub, it's a little thrown off by the metal right there,
Yeah, I know, he yells that out.
like a bitch.
It's like,
Oh, there's the turtle.
it's like, dude, this guy just tried to kill you for like the last like 40 minutes, and now you're like,
But I respect him.
it's like, I respect him.
Like Vin Diesel respects Jason Statham at the end of the latest Fast and Furious
Yeah.
movie.
It's like, you know, just because he killed one of his best friends, it's okay.
Because they're brothers now.
And just because they killed the owl guy, it's like, oh, I'm still here. Oh, that was just a dream. Fuck. I seem to have that dream a lot. Where I come home and you're hanging.
I always wake up with a boner too for some reason.
Something about that dream turns me on. It's not like I'm going to fuck you or anything like that, but I just feel like I'm going to go jerk off for like a long time after
The
that.
thought of you dying makes me hard. Credits.
Not like I was like, Robotnik's just like, oh, I got the disc here of, oh my god, this turtle took it and it's going to blow up, which is very violent when you think about it. That fucking turtle just dies.
You stupid fat fuck.
They're like, no.
You're such a fucking failure.
It's like, hey, shouldn't this guy go to jail? He's like, fuck you, Knuckles. He's
No,
like,
we're going to share a ride home with him now.
yeah. And it's just like, they chase out, he's like, why'd you fucking hit me, Knuckles, you fucking cocksucker?
Hey, wait for me.
Wait for me, guys, if anybody's gonna do some cocksucking. God damn it, Tails.
He looks like he's just like, they're going to kick the shit out of each other.
I'm gonna place a bet on it.
Now it's just one of those things like, oh, we're just all going to share the same ride. And I know you just tried to
Drive,
destroy the
you
world.
fat fuck.
Look at the president just like, ha ha, look at me.
He's like, who's got a boner now?
Guy in the back, that's who.
He's like, I like him tubby. I like them tubby.
I'm a fatty who likes chasing fatties.
I like them conservatives. And then, like, I think Robotnik's got like,
Robot, Sonic, the child is mine. Time to go.
fuck y'all. Credits. Sonic, He's a total douche, Sonic. He's not gonna pay for child support, Sonic.
He's the biggest douche around.
And Tails, shut the fuck up, Tails.
Stay in the
Sonic's-
corner.
Yeah, this is Sonic's song. Sonic, he is played by Martin Burke.
Who has a really weird fucking voice, just like Leanne Fraser.
And Sasha Bishi and Gary Dehan. Whoever these people are that you never see on any other dubbings.
Ending theme, look-alike.
By Tada.
It's kind of interesting when you hear you hear a Japanese song. It's like they'll take a couple of like American words or phrases and just fit that around a bunch of English.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, a bunch of Japanese.
Yeah, where they just like throw a couple lines. I mean, that's always like the Japanese style. You throw like one line of like normal fucking English in there, and then the rest of it's all Japanese. Well, this is the weird thing too. Is I've been noticing this in like recent like Asian movies, like both Japanese, but also a lot in Chinese movies that I never used to see before. Is you'll be watching them, and then all the fucking sudden they'll just like say like a full on English phrase.
I noticed
My
that
favorite
in some
part too is I
European
love
movies.
when the fucking subtitles are different than the English phrase. It's like, who the fuck is writing the subtitles then?
It's right there.
Yeah, do you not speak English?
I'm kind of like when they just show like, here's the movie you just watched on like little like side screen. I'm like, oh come on, give me something else.
Yeah, like give me production stills or something like that, or like Asians giving thumbs up. I don't know.
Asians give. Here's the people that made the movie.
Yeah, just like a sweat factory, just fucking Sega guys
Looking
with fucking
sad.
whips.
You see just like a barrel of a gun just barely like at the edge of the frame.
It's like fuck you, Metal Sonic. Oh, Sam, it's like
We gotta finish up the song.
we gotta fill up 56 minutes here.
Well, that's what Edgar Wright did on his first movie. He was just barely under like an hour, like a hour and 10 or hour and 20, something like
That
that.
movie that like that cool one that's on the
Fistful of
special.
Fingers.
Is that the
No, not the cop one. It was like he made a western.
Oh,
and he just
yeah.
Barely. He says like we had to stretch it out. We had
just
to,
so it fits, so it could be a motion picture, not because it's got to be over 65 minutes to be a motion picture.
lights went out black, and we just had some narration go over while the campfire went out. You know, that kind of thing.
Well, it's like, yeah, you got to kind of do things like that, but that's fucking Sonic the like it's gonna play fucking another Sonic the Hedgehog, but that's Sonic the Hedgehog right there, fucking the classic '90s anime. In fact, it's like the only anime movie I think there is of Sonic.
I believe so. I mean, they have only '90s one. They have.
I don't think there is a 2000s like anime movie. There's just like the Sonic X show.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, I'm curious to know what another, I mean, they have Sonic Boom, which is kind of its own thing. I don't know. I think that with, you know, our generation kind of making more stuff now, because Sonic Mania was totally, we wanted to originally do this with Sonic Mania, but I wasn't in town, so it would have been a little hard to do. I think with Sonic Mania, it was basically made by a bunch of like original Sonic fans. I think we're more likely to kind of get like maybe a really good, well-made fan-made Sonic movie. So
No, I think that's definitely like something that's going to come up soon.
and I don't mean I'm not trying to talk shit on the other one that came out. There's that Sonic fan-made movie that came out like 4 or 5
the
years
one's
ago.
like 25 minutes long or something
Well,
like that.
I mean, like something like animated that's probably more reasonable and more likely to happen.
Yeah, and something that's like, you know, actual, not like a fan. Not saying it gets fan made. It's cool that somebody's doing it. I always kind of go like, boy, I wish I could be a real rich kid. That's always like, whenever you see that, that's all you kind of like think of. It's just like, who the fuck has that much free time and that much money
To make a non-profit Sonic movie.
yeah, to make something that you know 100% at the end of the day you're never going to get paid from.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
I don't know the guy's situation. That could very much well be the situation. But at the same time, though, I kind of watch it. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick. Whenever you see one of those things, I never feel like that was, you know, I never feel like that was totally worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably probably get the ball rolling on something.
I mean, yeah, it's like some. I mean, I guess you can kind of say it's sort of like there's the Street Fighter one. I mean, that's made by like actual film people, so that's not really like.
The thing needs an editor badly.
Well, the movie does, but I mean, like they just made like a Ryu and Ken fighting scene, and then it turned into an official movie, so that's cool.
Well, that was like a long mini series, and they just kind
No,
of
the
like,
first part though, not
the
the
first
miniseries.
part was like a little like 5-minute video, and that so same guys made a mini series and they threw it together, made like a 2.5 hour movie.
yeah, fucking 3-hour movie. That's really it's good, but it's really like it's like an hour and a half story stretched out to like 2 minutes. Like, God, why is it so
A
fucking
lot
long?
of scenes of them just training. One scene of just the two of them bathing in a waterfall for some reason.
And then the weird thing too is that this is another thing that always kind of bothered me about that movie. Is like it has the crappy like ending like Street Fighter, which is an amazing kung fu movie from the 70s, but
Sony Chiba.
But it does the thing where it's like, oh, it ends, and it's like, okay, Ryu's gonna fight Akuma. credits. And you're like, are you you dragged me on for 2.5 hours just to pull this shit?
I'm not sure if they ever got a season 2.
There is a season 2 out there.
I'll have to look
it hasn't
that
come
up.
out on DVD yet, but I've been
Still just Ryu and Ken again. No Chun-Li, no Guile.
It does have Guile. I know. No, it has Charlie, and I know.
Charlie? Okay, that's cool.
So
I'll have to look that one
so
up.
it might have some more stuff in, because that's one of those ones. It was a good start. That's how I kind of felt. I'm like, if they can just improve on it, you know.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, that's a good example. That's probably one of the best like fan-made things I think I've seen as far
Well,
as...
it's not technically... Now it's official, though.
It was official, but it was like... Capcom's like, that's good. Let's make that shit official.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's like the Mortal Kombat, like the other little movies that kind of... They were made about the same way.
The best fan-made thing, actually... Because maybe I made it too broad of a statement. I will say the best fan-made thing I think I saw was a Fox in Space, which is like this very 80s style Star Fox kind of noir. Kind of reminds you a little bit of Cowboy Bebop. Even the audio sounds like an old 80s kind of grindhouse movie. That's really good. When you can't check out a Fox in Space. And it's taken the dude forever to come out with episode 2, and I understand because he's doing it all himself, but episode 1's amazing. So that's one of those things like, just like something like a live action thing. I think live action is just harder to do and still feel like, well, that was totally, unless it was like something, like, I don't know, something like Sonic.
It's just kind of too bad that animation, or like 2D animation is kind of like, it's just... The general public considers it like a lesser genre for the fact that I feel like there's so much sweet stuff you could do in like just picture like a Star Fox anime that came to theaters. Like that would be fucking... And I don't mean like anime like has to be like Japanese anime. It could be like American fucking like animation, like a DCU production. Like it's just too bad that those things can't really come to theaters. It's just because... Yeah, it's just like, it's weird how people look at that. Like the average Joe, mom and pop in Oklahoma look at that stuff like, oh, they either go like, it's kiddie or it must be cheap because it's not CG.
You know what I think is going to come down to? When those people stop going to theaters more and more, like when we're probably older. I think that's when we'll see more of that.
I hope that animation can kind of have a comeback. I mean, like, maybe it will.
Like a Ralph Bakshi type animation type shit.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, though. It's like, and I'm not talking about CG animation. Like, once, like, because, like, that's the thing, is, like, even Disney themselves are like, fuck it, we don't make 2D shit, because guess what? Doesn't sell nearly as well as 3D stuff. Remember when we made a Disney princess movie that had a black person in it? Sold like shit. Wonder why we're not doing that again. And it's just like, dude, it's a good movie, though. I like that one. It's like, yeah.
The Frog Princess one?
Yeah. Where were you when it fucking came out in theaters, huh? I saw it. You rented off fucking Netflix, you cheap fuck.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mouse.
Yeah. You think you're fucking sorry? My pocketbooks aren't sorry. I'm thinking you're doing pretty well. Fuck you. I was making some PC bullshit there, and nobody fucking bought into it.
People like the new PC shit they're making.
Yeah, well, I think because that movie came out at a weird time, though, because it was like... late. It was like, what was it, 2005 or something like that?
Yeah.
2000?
Well, like people love Frozen and Moana, and those movies seem.
But they're not. Yeah, but those are CG movies, though.
They're CG. Yeah.
I
think it's more the 2D shit. People have trouble getting back into that 2D style.
I think because it seems old. This is how I always say it. It's equivalent to like if you try to make a movie of all puppets again. I feel like there's just too much regular audience, like mom and pop in Oklahoma's, that would be like, well, did they cheapen out there or something? Where's the CG shit that we're used to?
Well, every so often people can find a way kind of around that. I mean, we'll see how the movie does. But what's his name? Wes Anderson just put out a trailer today. Marley sent me a link to it, to his new movie Isle of Dogs, and it's a claymation movie. And it looks like a kid could watch it, but the style and the way it looks and the tone, it almost seems like it's more made probably for big time Wes Anderson fans and kind of like millennials, because it didn't seem like it had a lot major focus on like it has that very dry delivery in the art style. Like the claymation, the puppets, the dogs, they all look really fucking creepy looking. So It's one of those things like I'm totally there for that movie. Sometimes he's hit and miss with me.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
But this particular movie looks, just for how fucking weird it is, because it looks like it's set in Japan. Bring it back to Sonic, kinda set in Japan. I think it might be based on an old book. All dogs in Japan are sent to like some trash heap island, and there's a boy that gets like a 12-year-old Japanese boy that goes there in a rocket to find his dog that was shipped there. And all the dogs talk to each other in English, but I think all the actual Japanese actors are all the Japanese characters are actually played by Japanese people, and they speak Japanese. I looked at the credits, and I saw a lot of American actors on there, like Bill Murray, Bryan Cranston, First Hulk, American History X, Edward Norton. And then I also saw a lot of Japanese names too, Ken Watanabe, Yoko Ono too. So, yeah. So
Ken Watanabe, isn't he? Korean?
I thought just Watanabe sounds Japanese to me.
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking of the guy from fucking Good, the Bad, and the Weird.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, Ken Watanabe. So, and,
I know
I know
what you're talking about. For some reason, I was picturing the bad. I don't know why.
Ra's al Ghul stand-in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
In Letters to Iwo Jima. So that whole cast looked like they were looked like really mixed. So I could see it actually being ballsy and kind of saying, yeah, whenever we have the Japanese characters, they're gonna be speaking Japanese. Whenever the dogs will speak English.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I mean, that's the way it looked at the trailer. It actually looks really interesting. But back to this movie, though. That's over. You actually got the Sonic Mania background on your PS4, I see.
I know, I had the Sonic theme. I even have the Tails one from my character profile.
I was going to say something, but I'm like, it's not mine. It's my place to say.
I was like, what, you got a problem with Tails?
No, I just didn't want to know if you want people looking for, like, Spencer Holmes Tails, that's him! Add you, like, stalking you on like...
As long as it's not like all those, like, nowadays I notice that, like, I keep getting messages from, like, hookers on there. That, like, it's like, now they're like...
You want to play, and I don't mean Titanfall.
Well, it's funny, because, like, I was playing Sonic Mania, and one of those, like, hookers sent me a message and whatnot, and I was like... Was there
profile of Amy?
No, they're never, like, very well put together. Like, I feel like hookers need to get, like...
You want fuckings now? Like broken English.
Oh yeah, they have like no profile picture. They got like no like their names just like something like they literally just like combine two names together to make it seem like it's a real
Sassy
person.
Katie 69 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe not even that spot on, but something like that. It was funny. This lady kind of goes, I'm like, I'm just gonna dick around with this person. So I sent him a message back on there and stuff. She's like, hey, you should come on this thing. I'll give you a free half an hour, or whatever. You'll have a fun time. It's like, well. Right, I can't remember what I said, but I was like, right now, or she's like, oh, I really like to, I like to get on top and ride it hard and stuff like that. I'm like, I like to run really fast and collect rings and go around circles and mazes and jump with my friends.
So you're talking as if, like, your Tails, that's your actual profile picture?
Well, I wasn't thinking like Tails because I was just playing Sonic Mania, and then she's like, no, you gotta come on over. I'm like, nah, I'd rather play Sonic Mania.
I like following my two friends. One's blue, one's red. We run through loops.
Yeah, we jump on robots.
We beat up fat people.
Yeah, exactly. Because for a fact this lady has no, like, or whoever this hooker is or whatever it is doesn't know, like, any of this stuff. They're probably some uneducated person, like, fucking shipped over God knows where.
I was in the room with you one time when you got a call from someone like at some cable company, and we're like, what the fuck with this dude? You're like, hello, comrade. Like, he's just like, that sounds like a nice package, but do you have Batman in HD?
I know, because we were watching Batman. I was like, right when they put Batman, like the animated series, back on TV, and they had it like in HD. He was like, ooh, Batman in HD.
He says, I want Batman in HD.
And he's like, oh, well, you get this sports package. I do not like you on American sports. I want Batman in HD.
And the guy was just
he was like, he couldn't handle it anymore. But yeah, it was kind of funny fucking with this. Him, that lady would like not stop. It was like, Jesus Christ, like
she was persistent.
She was persistent, or it's like one of those ones like. It's this one's like, how much can I tell her, like kept using fucking, like, video game jokes in there to, like, go, and it's like, God, she keeps going on, like, she keeps, like...
What if you just, like, sent her another, like, says, try out my friend, you sent a link, and you're just like, it's Sonic, like, hey, what's up? I like to go fast! You just, like,
gotta go fast. But no, it's funny. It's weird, though. It's like that started to happen. I just noticed all the signs. Like, the hookers are now starting to invade PlayStation Network and things like that and try to send their stuff. I mean, you're used to it, like, on Facebook and Twitter.
The way you say it, it's like that, like, she's gonna crawl out of the TV like it's the fucking Ring or something.
Yeah, it's like the fucking It, and like, it's like, turn the projector off, and then she starts coming out like, ah!
Has shark teeth and shit.
Yeah, exactly. But, no, it's just weird how it kind of is. But it was funny just to dick with her. I can't remember. There was a bunch of funny stuff I was saying at the moment. Just like, as I'm fucking playing Sonic Mania. And they're just I mean, I understand. They're trying to, they got a job to work. They're just trying to make a profit.
You gotta make, you're training them to be better at their job.
But I'll have to give her credit. She was working pretty fucking hard to make it like $1 that she was not going to get from me whatsoever because I was playing fucking. It's like those ones like it's almost like one like, are you fucking kidding me? You're sending this to me on PlayStation? Obviously, I'm doing something way more important. You know what I mean? It's like that's like Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Like that's I mean that's kind of one of those places I feel like you can send those messages, but it's kind of like. Who the fuck is going to stop playing their video game? I don't care. Like, most nerdy guys would probably still not stop. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm playing Witcher 3 and I'm 70 hours into it. Go fuck yourself, lady. It's like, God, did that nerd just tell me to go fuck myself? He's like, yeah, he's in the moment.
He's like, oh, I gotta stop by Brothel Town.
Yeah, nerds are fucking ballsy when they're in the moment. In real life, probably would not have had that, but yeah, goofy fucking shit. Well, make sure to check out fucking Sonic the Hedgehog, the video. You can watch it for free on YouTube. If you want to own a physical copy, I'll put a little link in there with an Amazon one so you can help support the podcast too, or buy whatever the fuck you want on Amazon.
Also, a fun little thing I want to add. We actually, just a fun little quick thing we're doing. Might go away, might keep it around. We just made a Spotify playlist for our show because I got some questions. People, we'll often reference music and all that. People say, I don't know what that fucking song is. I don't know what you're talking about. So a lot of the songs we frequently reference, as well as some of our favorites and themes of the show, like we even just have some random video game music on there, is on this playlist, just Old Man Orange pop playlist on Spotify.
Yeah, so check that out, and we'll just have kind of tunes on there that are kind of podcast inspired, maybe things we talked about, and it's even got Sonic jams and all kinds of fun stuff there. So expect fun things from there. Check out Pizza Boys, both on Comixology and Amazon. Until then, go to oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, cartoons, music, and more. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
We'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.
Thanks for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Check out our website at oldmanorange.com for even more podcasts, cartoons, videos, music, and more. Send us an email at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review us on iTunes, Podomatic, or any of the other fine sites we might be located on. And if you want to help out even more, click on the Amazon or GameStop links on our webpage before you make any purchases there. Won't cost you a penny, but it sends us a little something our way. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to Old Man Orange.